we have this opportunity to come together and connect hearts globally and with each other from all around the world. And for those of you new to the journey and new to me, I'm Brandon Bays, and we're going to be having a session today to really clear the debris, the fallout that we've been dealing with in this coronavirus lockdown, and also have work to open us into a place of divine potential so we can find a new, clear way forward. And so I welcome everyone with all my heart. And it seems we're all going through it during this time. And right now, as some countries and some states are beginning to move gently out of lockdown, it's really triggering a lot of us. And I've been in lockdown now for 9 weeks, this just today. And so what I've been hearing from people is not just the issues of fear, my job, my lifestyle, my health, my, living in the way that I have in the past, but people are now experiencing something that's titled lockdown burnout. And with some people, it's like their minds have been allowed to go crazy. One woman was sharing that, she got home from a retreat, and 2 weeks after the whole lockdown period happened, that she went into something that's called psychosomatic burnout. And she actually ended up in hospital with that. And what's happening is our minds are spinning out of control, and none of us were given a manual. None of humanity were given a manual. How do you deal with the stress, with the living in the unknown, living in this uncertainty, not knowing what's going to happen with you? And so in a very big way, this time period has been triggering many of us, most of us on some level, be it in our interpersonal relationships where we're finding we're snapping more than usual and getting frustrated and restless, and we haven't been able to go outside. We haven't been able to breathe and get some space. And others of us are fearing for our livelihood and our jobs and just kind of holding it all together. But there is no way to hold together fear. And yet another woman was sharing that she had actually been diagnosed with the coronavirus, and she wants to know how, now that she's gone through it and recovered from it, how she can strengthen her body and her being so she doesn't come down with other viruses. And so these are very, very real issues that many of us are facing at this time. And so I wanted to use this session as a very practical session for us to go on a journey and uncover some of the negative beliefs that have been kind of driving us nuts during this time, and clearing them, and also really opening into that potential that can show you a clear, more guided, more mainly guided by your heart, a way forward where you're listening not to the crazy mind talk and the countless like rat wheel, how the hamster wheel of the mind going nuts with all that negativity, but will open you into a space of the heart so that you can listen to and be guided by your own heart. And before we go into that process work, I'm aware that because this is Facebook Live and it's going out globally, it's not just reaching out into the 39 countries that we offer journey work in. And, the journey itself has been translated in 24 different languages. And so millions of people have used the journey, which is a unique and very powerful method for both emotional healing, also to healing your life, liberating your life, and also to physical healing. And for those of you not familiar with the journey, over 26 years ago, I had been diagnosed with a basketball-sized tumor, and part of the gift of healing that from that tumor in only 6.5 weeks' time is I found a method, a means for all of us in a very practical, very grounded way to go on a journey inside our bodies to get access to something that is called repressed cell memories. And what we know about the cells in the body is that when you feel a strong emotion, and science has found this, and you repress it, it releases a quantifiable biochemistry into the bloodstream, which will go to certain cell receptors and block them. And if over time illness happens, of course it happens where the cells are blocked. And conversely, what is also known to be true is that when we feel our emotions very naturally and freely, just let them flow like a child does, our cell receptors remain open. And so, what the journey allows us to do is to go on a radical, life transforming journey inside yourself to get to these cellular locations where the cells are blocked, to uncover the stored consciousness there, the old cell memories, the old pain. And not only just to uncover it, it's not like you just take a lid off a can of worms. Not only do you uncover it, but you come to a deep process of release and letting go and actually understanding what's taken place with you in your life. Coming to a place of forgiveness where you forgive yourself, you forgive life, you forgive God and each other, and come to a deep sense of peace and wholeness in yourself. So that when new cells are born, they're born devoid of that old consciousness as new regenerative cells. So for instance, I work with medical doctors right now, and we have 2 hospitals in Tel Aviv, where in one hospital they have a cancer unit, in the other hospital they have a heart unit. And once you've undergone your operations, then you will go into a recovery center where you will undergo journey work and nutritional support and supplemental support. But with the journey work, you'll be getting to the emotional corollary of what has co-created our physical illnesses and go through this deeply, profoundly liberating and healing work. So people are finding, and they are doing case studies on this, that people are recovering from cancer and heart disease much quicker, and it's not coming back as rapidly as it often does. It's not metastasizing as it often does. And so even on the CDC, and we all know the CDC, if you've been watching the Center for Disease Control reports every day on the newspapers or online newspapers, is that it says on their website, 85% of all illness has an emotional basis. And the reason they can say that is because they have all this research going on in the field of cellular healing. And so what the journey is, it gives you a practical method to uncover the emotions that are stored inside your body. And you know how it is. Have you ever noticed there may be emotions that you've been working on, and no matter how much work you've done on them, they still keep coming up for you. You may have done other courses, you may have read books, you may have listened to podcasts and done CDs, and you're really trying to get to the root of what is triggering this anger, what is triggering this devastation, what is causing me to go into a psychosomatic burnout where I'm put in hospital because of the fear that all of the COVID is bringing up for me. And what happens is because science has found that when you feel that strong emotion, the moment you repress it, it releases that biochemistry. And that gets stored in your body. And so let's say, for instance, it's something simple, like you're driving in traffic. Not that any of us are driving in traffic right now, at least not in Western countries. In Asia, they've started to open up and they have huge traffic jams. But in most of our cities right now, they don't. But you can remember this, how you may have been driving your car and then someone cuts you off and up comes that rage. Now, that person didn't come in the middle of the night and stick that rage inside of you. That rage was already stored inside of you. And all that they did is push your buttons. And that is what this whole coronavirus thing is doing, is that it's pushing our buttons, and our deepest fears are arising. Our most negative beliefs are coming up. These old dinosaurs that we haven't even thought about. Suddenly the negative beliefs are coming, the emotions of devastations, the feeling shut down, depressed, trapped. All of these emotions, they were stored inside of you. And what the journey does in a very real and practical way is it allows you to get to the root cause of it and clear it out so completely that you feel at home. You feel a great sense of peace. Not an imagined, oh, I meditate every day and therefore I'm doing a mantra and I feel peaceful, but a real sense of being at home in your own skin, a deep sense of peace. And so I thought it'd be wonderful today. I can't take you into full journey process work. I mean, for that, we have the full journey intensive where you really, it's a 2-day event where you roll up your sleeves and you dive in, and all day long from 9 until 6:30, you're undergoing this work. You're swapping it with people. You're getting the teaching, and it's very in-depth work. And so you're really learning that. And previously, prior to Corona, that was always done live with me in person. And because, desperate times call for desperate measures, I'm really, really thrilled that after 26 years of offering the Journey Intensive in 39 countries around the world, to people from all walks of life, we're finally offering it in an online program that you will be able to take from mid-June to the end of June. So it'll be with mid-June, we'll be doing Europe, and then the week after that, America, and the week after that, Australia. So you can do it in your own time zone. And so there in the Journey Intensive, you have all the tools you get so that if any of this kind of being triggered so massively happens, you can use this work with your friends, your loved one, your children. But we're not there yet. We're here right now. We're in May. And so what can we do now that can help us, even though we may not have access to this really powerful work yet that comes mid-June? What can I do right now? Because I'm floundering. I'm being triggered left, right, and center, and I need something to clear all this negative thinking. And so I thought I would take you, and I hope that you're up for this, into a closed eye process where, first of all, we're going to uncover some of the beliefs that have been coming up for us that out of the blue, we're getting triggered. Oh my God, I'm never going to get work again. Or what am I going to do? I can't feed my family. Or what if I get Corona and I get it again? And what about my parents? And they're vulnerable. And what about, being trapped here in the house? I'm not good at homeschooling my kids. My kids aren't getting the education that they need. And I'm finding that I'm stressed and nothing seems to be going right. There are all kinds of negative beliefs that many of us have just found they're just coming out of our feet almost. They're just coming out of nowhere. The truth is, those negative beliefs were buried in your cells. And so, we're kind of going to welcome them to come up into conscious awareness and go through a process of cleansing them from the body. And then we're going to go into a process that I call conscious choices, where you're going to see neurologically what those negative beliefs have done in the past to your body, to your mind, to your health, to your well-being. And then we're going to see and experience what it's like to be free from those, to live free from those negative beliefs, so that we can choose to be in this new, healthier, more wholesome consciousness where we have more clarity, can think more clearly, make more conscious decisions. So I want this to be a very practical time that you can use to, what do we do now until I can do that Journey Intensive? What can I do right now to help myself with all the negativity that's arising inside my own head? So I'd like to ask you, if you would, first of all, even with your eyes open, if you've had some negative beliefs coming up and you'd be willing just to type them onto the Facebook page and just share them with me. I know for me, the kind of thing happened with me. And while you're sharing the negative beliefs, I'll kind of talk over it so you can have a time to type them. And Gabby will relay to me what you're sharing, some of the negative beliefs that have come up for you while you've been in lockdown. And I know I shared with you that there was a woman who wrote that she's recovered from Corona, but now she's afraid, what do I do to stay healthy? and afraid, she's somehow, I guess, damaged her immune system and feels that she needs some work to stay healthy. And another woman couldn't even cope. She ended up in hospital with psychosomatic burnout just from the stress of it all. And so what are some of the negative beliefs that came up for you? I know for me, with our business, as we have a live seminar business, and I got back here in Greece on March 11th, and we went immediately into lockdown, and I had a seminar every single week in some part of Europe or Israel, or even in South Africa, from mid-March to mid-July. And it was even in the United States. And my entire seminar schedule got canceled. And it's like, oh my goodness, we're a live seminar business. How are we going to be able to offer this incredibly life-transforming work to people when they're in their biggest stress? And so, yes, this whole new way of doing business. Now, we've been giving online streaming programs for a while now, but the Journey Intensive was something I never gave online. And so we found a way to have trainers and practitioners supporting you through your process work, and a co-presenter also there working with you live. So you're really as if you're in a live immersion, but it really, like, whoo, for us, it brought up any fears that we had around our business. So these beliefs that hadn't previously been triggered, suddenly they're being triggered. So what are some of the negative beliefs that have come up for you recently while you have been in lockdown?
So I have beliefs here: feeling unworthy of being loved, never going to find a partner, aggressive, scared.
Okay, so she's saying, I feel I'm never going to be loved. I'll never find a partner. I feel aggressive. I feel scared.
I feel frustrated.
I feel frustrated.
Hypocritical, not honest with myself.
Hypocritical and not honest with myself.
Somebody writes they're fearful of compulsory vaccination.
They're fearful of compulsory vaccination. Well, that may be a very real fear.
I give so much to the ones I love. I know I shouldn't expect in return, but I can't help feeling unappreciated.
She said, I give so much to the ones I love, and I know I shouldn't think this way, but I feel unappreciated. I shouldn't expect something back. So these are the kinds of beliefs that are being triggered right now. What else?
About me, no one needs me.
No one cares about me. No one needs me.
People are not waking up. Society is splitting up. I'm completely alone in this.
People are not waking up. Society is splitting up. I am completely alone in this.
Feeling unsure about decisions made.
Sorry, I've got a hair here. Okay. Feeling unsure about decisions made. Yes. Because everything's changing from moment to moment. You don't know from moment to moment whether you've made the right decision, because what might have been a good decision 10 days ago isn't a good decision today, because everything's changing. Yeah.
Nothing to... Oh, sorry, there's something else. Fear of being alone, panic attacks, out of control.
Fear of being alone, panic attacks, being out of control.
Worried about the future.
Worried about the future.
Broken-hearted.
Broken-hearted.
Out of control.
Out of control.
Can't penetrate the barriers that keep me from love.
I can't penetrate the barriers that keep me from love.
Financial insecurity.
I feel financial insecurity.
Not helping my loved one in a closed nursing home.
I'm not helping a loved one in a closed nursing home. I can't get to them and I can't help them.
The feeling of being trapped in my house feels unsafe.
Feeling trapped in my house feels unsafe.
Because I'm feeling that if something happens in my house, I won't be able to get away. I'm afraid I'll die.
Okay, so if something happens in my house, I'm afraid I'll die. I won't be able to get away. On and on. And so what I'd like you to do right now, I thought we'd do a sweep clean, but I think we may need to do a belief drop through here, because it sounds like quite a lot of beliefs, very strong beliefs are coming up. So what I'd like you to do right now, and I know this will seem strange in your own household, but I'm going to ask you to take a nice deep breath in, let it out, and now close your eyes and speak out loud, like empty out loud, one after another, all the beliefs that have been coming up for you, just like as lickety split, as fast as you can. So you've heard the expression, get it up and out, better out than in. There's something that happens when you speak out loud. It's called the matrika shakti, and it's the power of the spoken word. And so just, if you'll trust me on this, just speak out loud any of the negative beliefs that have been coming up for you. So on the count of three, even if you feel self-conscious, just do it now. 1, 2, 3. What other negative beliefs are here? Just speak them out loud. Wonderful. Now, of all the beliefs that you sort of spoke into your room, of those, which was the one that gripped you the hardest? That was the worst of the beliefs? And just with your eyes closed, just speak that out loud right now. And now I'd like to ask you just to do a divine experiment here. Your eyes are closed and you've just spoken out loud that strongest negative belief. And just open with the question and ask, if there were an even deeper belief in the core of that more surface belief, what might that deeper belief be? And even if you're not sure what it might be, just speak out loud into your room, whatever it might be. Just let the words just come out of your mouth. If there were an even deeper belief in the core of that more surface belief, what might that deeper belief be? Speak it out loud into your room. Even if you're not sure what it is, whatever comes out, let it just come out. And now asking, if there were a foundational belief, a belief that was holding up all the other beliefs like a stack of cards, like you had this rug, this carpet upon which all the beliefs were stacked, and they were all on there like a stack of cards. And if there were a foundational belief upon which all the other beliefs were resting, that was the root of all the other beliefs, what might that foundational belief be? And just speak it out loud. Even if you're not sure, what might it be? Just speak it out loud. If there were a foundational belief that was the root of all the beliefs, upholding all the other beliefs like a stack of cards, what might that foundational belief be? Speak it out loud. And now, as if this foundational belief is like a carpet, I'd like you to take hold of it and right now rip it out. Just take hold of it and tear it out. Just take hold of this foundational belief and rip it out, letting all the beliefs cascade, just like falling away like a card castle of cards. Just take hold of that foundational belief and rip it out, letting all the other beliefs just fall away and now be swept out of the room. And when all beliefs have fallen away and are swept out of the room, just still your eyes are closed, asking, What remains? What's here when all beliefs have fallen away? What remains? And feel yourself beginning to open and expand. And feel yourself going deeper into this that is your own essence, into this vastness of being, and asking, who am I? What's here when all beliefs have fallen away and are swept out of the room? What remains? Who am I? And just speak out into the room. What is here? Who are you when all beliefs are swept away? Who are you? Just feeling yourself resting here, soaking, steeping in this that is yourself, the truth of who you are, in this that remains, when all beliefs have been swept away. And just feel yourself opening and deepening in that. Okay, taking a nice deep breath in. Letting it out. And you can open your eyes now and just stay wide open in this vast field of presence, of being that is here right now. And I welcome you to share what's here when all beliefs have been swept out of the room. Who are you? What are you? What is the essence of who you are? And if Gabby would be willing, if anyone's writing and letting us know what's here. And what
stillness was the first one that showed up, and
stillness
people haven't shared it, haven't seen it yet.
Okay, stillness. So stillness is here. For me, just pure being is here. An essential love. What else?
Love. Amazing experience.
Amazing experience. Love.
Beaming light.
Beaming light.
Strength, vitality, beauty.
Strength, vitality, beauty.
I'm just a soul.
I'm just a soul.
Pure light and abundance. Truth, love, divine, emptiness, faith and trust.
Pure light and abundance. Truth, love, divine, emptiness, faith and trust. And this is what our negative beliefs have been covering up. We've been buying into the lies that our mind have been telling us, and it acts as a lampshade and covers over this essence that is ourself, this vast love, this peace, this joy, this divine, this truth. And it's only from this place of truth that true, clear decision can be made, true, clear action can be taken. That if you're taking it from that crazy place of all the negative thoughts, I think you can feel this, that you're just going to flounder around. Whereas when you consult the stillness of being, the truth of who you are, that has a way of guiding you very healthily forward in a very clear, mind-free way where you're listening to your heart. So I'd like to ask you to join me in another divine experiment. And this is where I'm wanting your body to get clear on what is the path that you would like to go. The old path of listening to all your negative beliefs and living in constant fear and doubt of yourself and doubt of life, or a new way, which is stepping into the unknown, but stepping into a path that is free from all the negativity that was there. a path of living and listening to your own heart and being guided by the wordless truth of your own essence. But I always want for people to make their decisions, not just from their mind thinking, well, of course I want the path that's, the healthier path, but let their bodies reveal to you what's the right decision. What does your heart say is the right decision for you? What does your mind is included in this picture say is the right decision for you? And what is your consciousness say is the right decision? Because when we make a decision to move in a certain direction, to take a certain path, we have to be aligned with our heart, with our body, our nervous system, our mind, and our being. We have to be aligned on all levels of being. So I'd like you to try another divine experiment. And once again, this is with your eyes closed. And so just play along. You've nothing to lose by giving it a shot. So let's take a nice deep breath in, letting it out, closing your eyes, and just letting your heart right now be as wide as the world. Wide enough to welcome everything that exists inside of you. That's how vast this vast, spacious, open field of love is. Now imagine right now that you're at a campfire, and the campfire is a fire of unconditional love. It's a neutral zone where you feel safe. And you're standing at the apex of two different paths that are like a fork. There's the left-hand path, which is the path of the known. It's the path of the way you've always done things. It's the path of the old way of living life, of listening to all the negativities, the path of the habit of falling into those habitual fears, those traps, these old ways of being, getting triggered by the same things. So that's the old path. It's the path of the known. It's the path that is deeply familiar to you. So imagine right now that you're standing at the apex. There's the left-hand path, and at the fork in this path, there's also a right-hand path. Now, this is the path of the unknown. This is a path of where you're stepping into the now, free from all the old habits, free from all the old beliefs, free from all the old ways of being, and you're just listening to a wordless presence of your own soul, where you're listening to the heart, and you're being guided by that, even though you don't know. And sometimes it can feel uncomfortable not to know what's going to happen. And yet this is the path of trust. Path of trust in yourself, inner listening, the path that's unfamiliar, of letting yourself be guided moment by moment by where the heart guides you. So these are the two divergent paths, the left-hand path and the right-hand path. And so just to check it out, I want you to check out how your body feels, how your mind feels, your heart feels, and your being feels by stepping down and going down that path that is the left-hand path, the path of the known, the habits, the negative beliefs, the old ways of being is very familiar. It may even be comfortable because it's the way you've always lived. And so go ahead and take a step down the left-hand path, the path of the known, the path of the way you've always done things, the path of the familiar, the habits, the negativities, the reactions. So you're going to step down the path to a day from now, and just breathe how you're breathing a day from now and feel how you're feeling. Check in with your body. What does it feel like to be a day from now walking down that old path? What does that feel like? What does your heart feel about it? Going the old way, the habitual way, with all the negative beliefs and the tail spinning and habits and all of it. How does your heart feel about that? How does your mind, check in with your mind. How does your mind feel about it? How does your soul, your essence, your being feel about it? Just check it out. You're just checking in. You're doing a divine experiment. So let's walk on down that left-hand path, the path of the known, the habitual, to a week from now. And just check it out. How are you feeling in yourself a week from now? Walking the old path, the old habit. Breathe how you're breathing. Feel how you're feeling. How does your heart feel about going this old route? How does the mind feel about going that old route? Check out your body. How does your body feel about it? And your being. Just check it out. You're just checking out the old way of doing things. Continue walking down this path to a month from now and breathe how you're breathing a month from now, walking the old path. How does your heart feel? Your mind feel? Your body feel? Your being feel? Just check it out. And now keep walking to the 6-month mark and check it out. How are you feeling walking the old route with all the negative beliefs and the reactive patterns and all the old fears and the habitual way of doing things? This is the old way. Check it out. Now it's 6 months down the line. Breathe how you're breathing. Feel how you're feeling. Opening into the consciousness of you 6 months down the line here. How does your heart feel about it? How does your mind feel about it? How does your being feel about it? Check out your body. We're just checking it out right now. And now keep strolling down that path until you get to the 1-year mark. So it's you a year from now walking the old route. How are you feeling in yourself? Breathe the way you're breathing. Feel how you're feeling. Opening into the consciousness of you a year down the line here. How does your body feel? How does your heart feel? Check out your mind. How does your mind feel? And your being. And now, for the sake of the power of the Matrika Shakti, the power of the spoken word, describe out loud exactly what this is like, living the old way, the old habits, the old beliefs. 1, 2, 3. You're a year down the line. 1, 2, 3. Just describe it out loud. Okay, now time now to turn around and let's walk back towards the campfire. So we're going to walk back to the 6-month mark. And let's walk back to the 1-month mark. Let's walk back to the 1-day mark. Let's walk back. And we're just getting ready to jump into the now. So take a deep breath in. And jump into the now, into the neutral zone where you're back at the campfire. And you're completely free of that old consciousness. You're in the neutral zone, here by the campfire. Now, let's take a gander down that right-hand path, down the path of the unknown, where you're living in a fresh way, free from that all the old beliefs, the old fears, the old habits. You're completely free from that. But it means that if you're going to step into the unknown, into the now, you're going to have to be attuned to your heart every moment. You're going to have to listen every moment to this wordless guidance as it pulls you in the direction that feels right for you. And so imagine right now, and you're just going to check it out. I want you to check out what it's going to feel like to be absolutely free from the beliefs, the negative habits, the old pain, the old fears, the old way of being, that whole way, that is gone. And instead, you're stepping into the right-hand path, free from all of that, into the path of the unknown. So go ahead and step to a day from now and breathe how you're breathing. Feel how you're feeling, opening into the consciousness of you a day from now. You. Now, it's unfamiliar because we don't know what this is going to be like. The truth is, we've never known what any moment's going to be like. But right now, we've chosen to be present and to be here now. And so, what does this feel like? Check your body. Check your mind. What does your mind feel like? Completely free from all the negativities, all the fears, the habits, the old ways of being, the reactivity. What does the mind feel like? What does the being feel like? The heart feel like? Okay, so just checking it out, continuing to walk down as we continue this divine experiment to a week from now. And just how are you breathing a week from now? This is the path of the unknown, where we're listening to a deeper clarity, where we're not locked or trapped in old habits. Instead, those have fallen away. All the old negative beliefs have fallen away. The ways of being have fallen away. And we're stepping freshly into the now. And yet the now is unknown. And so what does this feel like to you? Breathe how you're breathing. Feel how you're feeling. Open into the consciousness of you now. Check out your body. What does it feel like? Check out your mind, how it feels unfettered by all those old negative beliefs. Check out your being. Let's continue walking to a month from now. And again, just breathing how you're breathing, feeling how you're feeling, opening into the consciousness of you a month from now, you. And just check it out. Check out your body. What does it feel like? Check out your breathing. What does your breathing feel like? What does your heart feel like? Your mind feel like? Just check it all out. And now walking on down to the 6-month mark. And again, we're completely freshly living each moment in the unknown, free from all the old negative habits and beliefs and ways of being. And instead, we're freshly open, listening to the moment, listening to our heart in the now. What does your mind feel like when it's free from all of that old? What does your body feel like? It's you 6 months down the line, walking down this path of the unknown, living each moment in the now, just listening to your heart and be guided by your own heart to the right path for you. What does that feel like in your heart? What does your body feel like? Your being feel like? Okay, let's continue walking on down the road until we get all the way to the 1-year mark. And just breathe how you're breathing. Feel how you're feeling, opening into the consciousness of you a year from now, you. How are you feeling in yourself? What does your body feel like? What does your being feel like? What does your heart feel like? Check out your mind. Okay, it's the path of the unknown. And yet, by a year from now, when we're free from all the old, what does this feel like to live in the now? In the now, freshly guided each moment by your own heart, by the truth of who you are, by the clarity that's here. And describe out loud in your room exactly what this is like a year from now. 1, 2, 3. Just describe it out loud. And now compare it with the left-hand path. Which path feels like the appropriate path for you? Which path feels like your body and your heart and your being feels most aligned to? Check it out. What's the right decision for you, the right path for you, the correct path for you? Okay. Turn around, walk back towards the 6-month mark, continue walking back by the 1-month mark, continue walking back to the 1-week mark, continue walking back to the 1-day mark, and pause there and take a deep breath in and jump into the now, into the neutral zone right by the campfire. Now you're standing right now in the neutral zone by the apex of these two paths. Which of these two paths feels the right choice for you to take? The old way or the new way, the path of the unknown, living in the moment, listening moment by moment to your own truth, your own heart, or the old way, the old habitual way? Which one feels like the right path for you? Speak out loud. Which path is the correct path for you? And now let the other path that's no longer the correct path for you dissolve into light. And in front of you is a doorway. And this is called the doorway to decision. Decision comes from the root word incise, which means to cut off. And the moment we make a decision, it's like we cut off all other possibilities, all other options. Goethe said, the moment you make a decision, it's as if the whole universe floods in to support you in that decision. So you are on the threshold of making a decision right now. And there's a door in front of you. And the moment you step over that doorway, you are deciding now this is the new path that you're going to walk. So take hold of the door, open the door, step through the door, slam that shut door behind you, and stepping now into the now, into this that is the correct path for you, into this new consciousness. And the whole universe will flood in to support you in this new way forward. The fact that you can even conceive of this means you can start from here, starting now. So let's all take a nice deep breath in, letting it out, and opening even vaster into this healthy, wholesome, clear consciousness. You can open your eyes now. Taking another nice deep breath in, and letting it out, and another nice deep breath in, letting it out, and opening your eyes now. And I would assume that most of you chose the path of the unknown, but of the inner listening to the now. And I'd love to hear what your experience is right now, how you're feeling about listening to your heart, being guided by the truth inside yourself, listening moment by moment to your own essence, and letting it guide you to the correct choices, the right choices that are here for you now. What is this feeling like? I feel truthfully even though I've done this many times before, I feel so fresh and excited about moving forward into the next moment. And that it's almost like there's a field of all possibilities here. And I just need to seize them and carpe diem, seize the day, and let myself be carried by the truth inside myself. But I don't know what you're feeling, so I hope you're writing, and I'd love to hear where you are right now. And of course, I just want to say, if you feel that you're wanting to really roll up your sleeves and dive in and get to the emotional root cause, the cell memories, I'd love to invite you to our Journey Intensive, that you can really, if you're aware that there's some deep issues stored here, or if you're looking for emotional freedom or even physical healing, I I strongly invite you for that. So in the meantime, Gabby, have people written in where
they're coming so fast I can't keep up.
Okay, so start reading, Gabby.
Light and relaxed, freedom and trust is on my right-hand path. Unknown as life is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God, I love you. Wow, it feels so good. Stronger, more hopeful, stronger and confident. Hold on a minute. Worthy of love, and I need to go forward. Excited. The right path feels so light and peaceful. Feeling like dancing and free. Relief, liberation. Thank you, Brandon. So great to be part of this. Lighter, easier, excited, free, happy. Happy beyond measure. Peaceful, loved, and full of light. Clearer, anchored and expanding. Happy, free, light. Self-worth, self-acceptance, accomplishment, happiness. Feeling support by the universe is the gift. I felt my heart strong. Love you. Thank you, Brandon. Beautiful journey into new beginnings. Alive and free. Magical moment and beautiful light. Feeling happy, relaxed, open. I can smell the fragrance of my spirit guides too.
Well, it sounds like you're going on and on. You're getting the drift of how important it is to be open with our own souls, with our own essence. And, I'm feeling so inspired for this that for the next, I feel like what I'd like to do is have a global gathering like this once a week until we get to the Journey Intensive. And so we can come together, we can prepare, get ready, and then you can dive in and undergo that deep immersion. And I really feel like I'd love to do this on Sundays at exactly this time, if that works for all of you, and just kind of roll up our sleeves as we've done. And for those of us who participate in the divine experiment of it, you got something out of it. And of course, the Journey Intensive is light years deeper, and it really gives this wondrously powerful work where you have the tools once you've done the Journey Intensive to take this work into your life and use it with your children and your parents, your grandparents. But in the meantime, let's continue to meet in just this way. And please let your friends, let them know about this global gathering, because I do very practical work. I think everybody can relate to it. You don't have to be a spiritual person to get in touch with the truth inside yourself. All of us long for that right now, and we long for freedom. And that's what the journey is most known for, is for liberating your life. It's for opening into the enlightened awareness that is your own soul. And at the deepest level, clearing out not only the cell memories, the emotional issues, but the karmic issues that we've been dragging around with us, even the generational patterns that have been passed down from lifetime to lifetime. And there's a whole field of epigenetics now where they're saying that emotionally what our parents went through and our grandparents went through is the emotional patterns that they lived through have been passed down to us through our DNA. And this work can help you get access to those patterns and clear it. So the Journey Intensive is not just this massive sweep clean where you're clearing on all levels of being. The Journey Intensive gives you these tools to work with yourself on karmic issues, emotional issues, physical issues. And yes, of course, it's most known for cellular healing. And so I really pray that somehow by hook or by crook, you can make it to one of the Journey Intensives online. If you're already a Journey grad, I'm sure they will have a reset price for you. And for those of you who have been in the Journey Intensive, you know the presence that's there. You know the power of what we experience together in the collective. And what's going to happen in the online Journey Intensive is exactly as if you were taking it with me. Exactly the same. And you'll have a chance to share, but instead of doing processes side by side facing one another, you'll be doing Zoom processes. But what's so beautiful about it is that you will have Journey practitioners assigned to you who will be there to oversee, to help you, to take care of you, to embrace any questions, any support needed. So as if those trainers are right there with you in what we call pods, and a co-presenter will be there to really guide you into the process work. I'm really actually very proud of it. I never thought it was possible. And I truly feel that it's powerful and liberating. And so if you've already been through the Journey Intensive, you will want to be there anyway as a resit at a much reduced price, so that you can have this immersion while we're all at a time where we deeply need this immersion. So a heartfelt namaste to all of you. I would love to do this again if you're up for doing this again next Sunday, same time, same station, and we'll get ourselves cleared out and prepared to launch into the Journey Intensive and to launch into life from this new clarity, from this new purpose. And so a heartfelt thank you to everyone. And I pray I'll see you again. And please, please pass this on to your friends. Share it on their Facebook pages. Actually sit with them. If you're allowed and your friends allowed to come to your house next Sunday, please have them come and sit with you and undergo it together. It's much more fun to do these processes rather than just speaking into a room, speaking with each other. And so please bring your friends and let's dive in again. Namaste, beloveds.